I got the opportunity to teach my sister how to use algebra tiles. Before this pandemic occurred, I had a plan to teach a 7th grade student from Jamestown Middle School about algebra tiles as well, as this is something they're probably conquering in class. For the safety of the student and I decided just to use my sister, who was a reliable source at my home. This is my sister, Madison Scott. She normally goes by Maddie. She's 15 years old. She's in 10th grade at Jamestown High School. And even though she's 3 years younger than me, she's 5 inches taller than me. She's super smart, loves to ride horse, and can play saxophone, piano, and clarinet. Before starting the algebra tiles, I wanted her to identify what the slope-intercept form was. So while doing this, she wrote out y equals mx plus b, and then I wanted her to identify where the y-intercept was and where the slope was. So that is just what she did. Next, I told her to write an equation in slope-intercept form with the slope being 2 and the y-intercept being 4. So that is just what she did up above. After that, I wrote an equation 2x plus 4 equals 3x plus 2. This is where our manipulative algebra tiles came into place. I told her to match the x's with the slope and the 1's with the other numbers, so the y-intercepts. So as you see, she put 2x here plus 4 and started putting 2 here and had to find 2 more to place here. After that, I taught her how to cancel out the x's, so it would have came out to 1x, and how to cancel out the y-intercept, so the 1's, and that would have came out to 2. So it would have been 2 equals x, and she did just good with that. Then we decided to work some more problems out. With the problem that she wrote, when I gave her the slope of 2 and the y-intercept of 4, this is how we started out, and she put the algebra tiles and placed them where she thought they went, and she caught on real quickly, knowing that x's should match with the slope and the 1 should match with the y-intercept number. The activity that I found was one that I used when I was learning what algebra tiles were in Math 278. I thought this activity was very hands-on and visual, and she enjoyed it as well because it would tell you if you had something wrong, or it would tell you if you did good, and that's exactly what it did, is it gives you a check mark if you did good. She also liked how she could erase things and put like the negatives and positives on top of each other, and they would cancel out just like the real world would when you were doing it with the other algebra tiles, but then on this activity it actually canceled out. Here is the standard and the works cited for this activity. The standard from North Dakota Math Standards was 6th grade. Even though she's a 10th grader, she did not learn where algebra tiles were when she was back in 6th grade. So it was cool to go back into the math that she learned and add something to it. And then this is my works cited for my activity. And then, so what I learned from the experience, things that didn't go well was challenging an older student is tough. She knew what like the slope-intercept form was and how to manipulate the equations, but she didn't want to really learn how to add something new to it, so it's like teaching old dogs new tricks. She didn't understand why you needed the algebra tiles right away, why you couldn't just do it in your head and on paper. So then what went well is after doing them with algebra tiles, she really enjoyed it, and she thought like it's more visual, and she understands how students would understand the concept much more when she actually got to do hands-on algebra tiles. It's more like she had to understand it before she wanted to actually do it. So using her previous knowledge to conquer the tiles was a great step. And then this is her and I when we were younger and older.